Alrighty. Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review, Episode 102. These four will be the last to discuss for a bit, because basically I'm going back to Ultraman to finish that series, which is only about 19 episodes, so it shouldn't take too long. I'm hoping, really hoping, I get time between when I finish that one and before I start 5 Man, I get a chance to work next episodes, next 12. That, or I might just basically wait until I get halfway through 5 Man in order to get to basically finish these remaining episodes. It's possible. Okay, in the case of these 4 episodes, we pretty much wrap up the flashback stuff. And there's occasional flashbacks after this, but not where it's like a whole story arc of episodes. So, in 972, we have Odin get captured and his retainers captured by Kaido, but Shinobu's not with them. It's during the flashback he decided to just publicly deny the fact she was working with him, even though she really is working with him. And so basically they were sentenced to Boyo. So Odin basically makes a challenge to Kaido, because Orochi is not trustworthy because he considers him a liar. It's like, he tells him this: give me 1 hour, give me like an hour in the pot, hour in this pot, and then basically you can let us go. And Kaido's like, bring me a clock. Yeah, you got 1 hour. So he just goes in the pot. He's basically burning because it's really boiling hot. Then his retainers, they all want to jump at the same time, but he's like, no, stay on the platform. He picks it up with his bare hands and he puts it on top of him. And he does this for a whole hour. And of course, he's like fading at one point, where he like, after he starts like for like a minute, he's like starting to fade. But lucky enough, thanks to Shinobu, he's able to survive the entire hour, no problem. And then the Word changes his mind. It's like, nope, we're not going to boil you. We're going to basically shoot you. It's like Orochi was not going to let him go, because they do a flashback that apparently where's this mysterious person who's one of the retainers, who he basically, well, part of the same clan he is, convinced him to play the role of one of Odin's retainers in exchange for basically info. Is side of that. So apparently the guy is so vengeful against the Kusuke clan, all because his grandfather tried to kill the daimyo to become shogun. And you're thinking, is Odin's fault the reason why this way? No, if you want to blame anybody for basically his plight, it's probably Odin's grandfather. Nope. Because the fact that he is related to the man who was said was assassinated, called the daimyo killer, apparently mirrors his own clan, who had nothing to do with what the heck he was doing, knew nothing about his plan at all. Like, guys, including women, were getting killed left by these random guys. Who are these people? Never explained. This is a plot point I'm sure probably Oda probably want to explore at some point. But no, this could have been something that maybe was somebody else manipulating Orochi for this. I highly doubt Kaido was responsible for cause this, because he didn't make game until he got money. So who could be responsible for sending these raids? I highly doubt the Shogun himself basically be doing this, because this is a big question mark of who was sending these unnamed mobs to attack basically members of Orochi's clan. This is something that Oda has never explained who was responsible for this, because this will be quite interesting. Maybe it was somebody related to the clan itself, Sam, because I highlighted the Shogun. He probably knew nothing about this at all. So apparently he became a Shogun to ruin the country because they threatened to murder him. And the fact he mentioned, the fact that that's what's against him, basically he couldn't sleep at night. I'm like, and this is all over the fact that he is sheer, you could say his pettiness, but also revenge against the country for daring and trying to murder him when he was quite young. So, despite the fact legally, according to the way that the previous Shogun set it up, Odin should be the new Shogun, but apparently Orochi's like, nope, I'm not giving him my spot. Because he hates the Kusuke that badly. So, then of course, after the hour, the retainers all were able to escape, no problem. He tells them, open the borders. And then along with Shun proceeds to race back to Curry. Odin has basically a one-on-one conversation with Kaido, where it's built in. It's of course is in episode 974 that the woman who indirectly caused all this, like the one who transformed to Momonosuke, yeah, Kaido killed her off screen. I think that was a good move. I think that in the case of the anime, they're probably just trying to follow the mangas the best they can, but now having this mentioned probably was a good move because having Kaido murder an old lady on screen probably would not be good for people who watch the show. Having him mention it is fine. Oddly enough, they don't know what happened to the old man, but we know what his fruit ended up with, and with Bartholomew. Her fruit ended up with Bon Clay, one of the members of the Rockworks. Yep. So, and of course, Odin later is killed by Kaido, not Orochi. People tried to doubt him. So people were shot with arrows, bullets. All because Orochi bribed them. Because the man is sure petty. Orochi is a coward. He is very manipulative. He'd do anything to serve his own ends. And basically, Odin had him dead to rights. And here's the thing. The reason why he went with all the naked dancing he did for a whole episode, the reason why is because apparently Orochi had arranged kidnappings. Odin knew nothing about these kidnappings at all. He didn't know anything about this. One of these women is named Hana. She appears for episode 973 and 974. And she never appears ever again in the series. She appears for those 2 episodes. She's never mentioned again. You might be curious, does she appear at the end of the arc? Nope, never mentioned. I don't know what happened to her. She just appears for 2 episodes. She has maybe like a few lines. There's no credit for a dub actor. She's the only new character seen in these 4 episodes. The only one. You thinking, really? Yes, really. So meanwhile, though, basically we see retainers where some of them get separated from them, like we see Dog Vapor and Catstorm and Dog Vapor fighting each other. And Ashura and Dashura basically separated too. Dashura basically becomes, well, Kishiro, the napping Yakuza, who becomes the leader of his own Yakuza family, thanks to being very strong. In fact, he looks much taller than he was wearing. What happened with his glasses? They broke. So yeah, this flashback reveal of who that guy is. Ashura, he basically went back to what he was doing before, where he's basically the leader of bandits. Kiko actually went with him to the future, but she stayed back in Wano. But what about, let's say, Cat's Dog Paper? I'm presuming they must find a way to leave Wano because they're basically later seen on Zou itself. Okay. You are thinking, okay, so then of course they arrive at the castle. By the way, Hidori is sent off with Kamanatsu. So, Kanjuro, Kinemon, Raizo, and Kiku, these 4, along with Momonosuke, are sent to the future. 20 years. And of course, well, Orochi is informed by this by a messenger, which, of course, he basically kind of suspected Toki may have had this ability, but this is now confirmed. So then we kind of detail what some of this mention of the course of this whole thing, and you can kind of see the fact that this whole second half of this series was leading to Wano, and then we have a little bit of stuff for afterwards. And I do mean a tiny bit, where we see that where basically how Raizo got the Zou. Part of the boat he was on broke off, and he went Zou. And of course, well, Kanjuro got stranded in Dressrosa, and then Kinemon and Momonosuke ended up in Punk Hazard, which they mentioned what happened with him there. I thought this was quite interesting, and of course, we lead to kind of what we saw in Punk Hazard, come full circle, and then basically we have this part. Last episode ended with basically Luffy and his group marching toward the raid, ending it there. yeah, this was really good. I enjoy these episodes. Now, I might have been tempted to watch the remaining 24 episodes, but no, I need to go back watching Ultraman because I waited for a little while longer than I wanted to, but now I've got these episodes done. Now, last I heard, they have dubbed episode 1000, which, of course, we have, we're exactly 24 episodes away from that 1000 episode. I'm looking forward to watch it, but that won't be watched right now. That'll be later. Okay, so that's it, particular review. Next episode is going to be a review for ReZero, which is going to be quite interesting because I've never discussed this series before. Okay, so bye.